Hey, Taoping Airlines Math and History, and we're going to be looking at two exteriors. So, in the last video, we have been reviewing about angle exterior theorem, and it means that the two remote numbers that are far away from the exterior number, these two are going to add up each other to equal this number right here. So these two angles, 70 and 60, is going to equal this long angle right here. And this theorem, exterior angle theorem, was founded by a mathematician named Euclid. In Euclid's theorem, also known as exterior angle theorem, we are trying to find what this gigantic angle is right here. So, since that there's only one exterior, the next problem we're going to do has two exteriors. This one right here and that one right there. The two lines and angles that are not inside the triangle. So in this problem, we have a bunch of numbers in the triangle and one solution for the first exterior. So we're going to try and figure out what the missing points for this one, what the missing point for M is, and what the exterior point is for N. There are two ways we can solve it. The first way is to find what this angle is, then we can understand what M is, then we can also know what this angle is, because the supplementary angle is right there. And we can also know, if we figure out what M is, we will also be able to figure out what N is, because that too is a supplementary angle. Remember, supplementary angles are angles that make up 180 degrees, like that angle and that angle add up to 180. Here's an example. So that is an example of a supplementary angles, two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So let's try figuring out this one way, then we can redo the problem again and figure out it a different way, because there are two ways. So, since that this exterior has 115, 180 is these two angles added up together. So if we have 180 minus that 115, we're going to get an answer of 65. So that small angle has to be 65 degrees, because these two angles will add up to 180. For this triangle right here, 65 and 24 plus M, which we don't know yet, is also going to equal 180. If we do triangle sum theorem, it understands that that angle right there, that and that all added up together is also going to equal 180. So 180 is the lucky number in this video. Since all the triangle angles must add up to 180 degrees, that means we can do 180 minus that 65, and then we minus that by 24 to get M. So, 65 and 24, that's going to equal 89. So, if we do 180 minus that by 89, we're going to get an answer of 91. So, M right here is going to equal 91 degrees. If angle M, is 91 degrees, then what is the exterior for M? Well, with this angle and the exterior added up, that's going to equal 180. So, if that's 91 and that's 180, then that means that M is going to have to be 89 degrees. M is going to have to be 89 degrees, because if we do the math saying 91 plus 89, that'll bring us to 180. So that is one way we can solve this problem. The second way we can solve this problem is a much faster way and a much more efficient way. So let's try and solve this problem again, but with a much faster way we can solve it. So here's the problem again, but we're going to try and use angle exterior theorem. So, with Euclid's theorem, we are able to solve all the missing numbers at the same time in just 2 steps. The other strategy we did was a little bit more time consuming, but with this strategy, it's less time consuming. So let's start. So you see how 115 is the exterior for this one? So it means that m and 24 are going to equal 115. Because if you add this angle and that angle together, back to back, side to side, then that is going to equal this angle right here, which is 115. So 115 minus 24 to get m that will bring us to 91. So we know that m is going to equal 91. The 2 numbers that are going to equal the exterior is called the remote exterior. That means that these 2 numbers are far away from the exterior, which is the solution. But what about the other exterior on the right? Because in the beginning of the video, we said that there were 2 exteriors. Well, for m, we're going to have to do the same process again. But only this time, we have to solve what this angle is. So if we highlight that n, that means that this angle right here plus that for 24 is going to equal n. The only problem is that we don't know what that angle is. And from the last problem, we knew that that angle was 65. So, here's 65, and there's 24. 65 and 24 is going to equal 89. N is going to equal 89. So, if you add these 2 numbers, you'll get that. If you add these 2 numbers, you'll get this. So, you're pretty much solving 2 things at the same time. And this is very efficient. That is called exterior angle theorem, discovered by Euclid. Now we know how to solve 2 exteriors at the same time. Very efficient. Try on your own. Developing Airlines Math and History. Mission out. Like and subscribe.